Hi, I'm Frances Callier.
And I'm Angela V. Shelton.
We are Frangela, and welcome to
Idiot of the Week.
Week.
You know, Frances, this is the thing about the stupid.
Hmm.
I hope they recognize that they are being monitored and dealt with by the best stupid army on the planet.
On the planet. And we
have the
salute
best
you.
Anti-dumb army on this planet.
This first idiot is from Sir Donnie the Dumbfinder.
Like we should always. I need a little.
You know what? We do need sound effects.
Oh my gosh. See, we should steal Stephanie's sound effects board.
Yeah, totally. Florida man says his wife wants divorce after he lost $45,000 on AI generated Elon Musk car scam. Okay, I am so. Let me tell you, I've been caught on a couple of AI videos myself.
Yes, you have.
Okay,
like the alligators with the duck and the thing. What was it?
Because it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It touched my heart.
It was 3 alligators in perfect synchronicity with like a
squirrel and a duck and a mouse.
No, not a duck. It was something that couldn't swim really. So when the floods were happening.
Yeah,
and you're like, isn't this beautiful? I was like, it's not. And I had to also be like, that's not real. I was like, I didn't think it was real.
It got me.
I know. And they do. They're going to get you occasionally. I think that one of the things that I like to, when we get into this more, because this man, George Hendricks, is 69. And I'm saying this as a 54-year-old woman to everybody. If you are over the age of 45, do not believe videos, crypto, these are things that you need to get a lot of backup on whether or not you should do them.
That's
right. Show it to a lot of people.
Angela, I'm concerned for us all because the AI is going to get better. One of the things is that, like the other day, I received a text that said that there was suspicious banking activity on my card. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm gonna have to go to the bank because I can't touch anything. I can't click anything. I won't click anything through. I'm afraid. And there was suspicious activity on my card at the bank.
Are you always afraid, or you just said because you got this message you were afraid?
No. I'm always afraid to click a text that I got. From an unknown, because that is the quickest way I'm hearing and understanding that people get into our phones.
Yeah, we let them in.
We let them in.
Well, this is the thing. Whenever you get a text like that, go check the account.
Right. That's what I did.
Yeah. Don't have to, and look and see if there's any truth to it. Yeah. But like this guy, okay, so let's just say this is Florida. The first thing I thought when I read this man said he lost thousands of dollars after he was reportedly targeted by scammers pretending to be Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk. I think we need to introduce a bill that says if you live in the state of Florida, before you can spend over $1,000, let's say $10,000, you have to get approval from us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and you on the expenditure, because it feels like you could focus all of your efforts just on Florida scamming and do really well. This doesn't even sound particularly good of a scam. So this man is George Hendricks. He's 69, from Leesburg, which is a suburb of Orlando. Leesburg. I'm gonna write that down because that sounds very Port St. Lucie suspicious.
It does, doesn't it?
He lost $45,000 after a scammer. Basically, they sent him, and his wife wants to get a divorce. And I would like to say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, you may have that divorce.
They targeted him with a deep fake video of Musk. First of all, let me explain something to you. Elon Musk ain't think about none of us, okay? He ain't gonna never send you a video. He don't want to talk to you. He's not concerned with you. So in case you don't know what a deep fake is, deep fakes are digitally altered videos that are often used to impersonate notable public figures. In fact, it's gotten so bad on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the Rachel Maddow ones are awful.
Mm-hmm.
You
there
know,
was one going on TikTok a few weeks ago that was like Rachel Maddow cussed out President Trump
right
to his face.
Right.
And I was like, and
Didn't
but
happen.
this thing, I go, that didn't happen. Just like that didn't. But people were like, "Did you see Rachel Maddow?" You know, and I'm like, "This is."
And this is where I think that where we really need laws against this, because there are people walking around going, did that really happen? Oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
Or I just saw, because a lot of us will take that information and just run with it. Hey.
I'm just pointing at Francis.
Shortly afterwards. So this is what happened. Hendricks commented on a post in a Facebook group claiming to advertise car giveaways.
When you hear the word Facebook group, right there, that should tell you no.
Okay?
No.
And
George.
the reality is that this is the internet, the worldwide internet. Don't ever forget that there are 3 W's in front of everything you touch on the internet. And it's called the World Wide Web, which means anybody, anywhere can be anyone. Like that pretty blonde who's really cute keeps on saying, "You really cute."
Boo.
That's a Nigerian prince. Okay.
Who just needs $7,500 to give you $350,000.
Exactly.
Always beware of a contest or a giveaway that requires that you give something, because the whole point of winning something is to win it.
Even if you have to give your social security number.
No. Any information? No. If they can find you, they can find you to give you the gift.
That's right.
Here, and this is so in this group, it's supposedly advertising car giveaways, which is ridiculous. So shortly afterward, so without much effort, he receives a message saying he won.
Woohoo!
He won a new car and $100,000. Then he received another message via WhatsApp that contained a video message he believed to be from Musk. Now we're really. George Hendricks reportedly had $45,000. Well, that's just a repeat of that. So in the video obtained by Click Orlando, an AI-generated deepfake version of Musk said, "My good friend, Mr. George, I just want you to listen to what I'm telling you. I promise that you're going to receive your package."
Okay, and you know how it sounded. "My good friend, Mr. George. I want you to." It's so.
Is Elon Musk Southern? Is that happen in South Africa? Because people, to call people Mr. or Miss by their first name is a very regional thing.
Hendricks was told that he had to pay $7,500 in cash for the car's shipping, which he sent to the scammers. "Here, take my money."
Okay.
He also was asked to make a $10,000 investment and was promised a $120,000 return. What I tell you,
okay, let me. Elon Musk don't need $10,000.
not never. This is one of the
He's not trying to get $10,000 investments. He invests at the millions, at the hundreds of millions of dollar level. He's not out here trying to nickel and dime up some investments.
You are not his VC.
Wait, I'm waiting on George. You know George from Leesburg. When I get George's money, I'm gonna be able to close this deal.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
that's not happening, George.
And after exchanging several messages with the scammers, he said he drained his accounts and sent them nearly $37,000 more. Okay.
I'm going to say this sounds like it all happened in a relatively short period of time, too.
Oh, God, yes.
And it is the kind of move where I think that if his wife didn't consider divorce, she'd be crazy. They are 69. They're in their 60s here, late 60s.
They're almost 70. Yeah.
How much this could be like all their money. It sounds like, as he said, drain the accounts. I don't know. You work hard, you put all this money, you save, got a little nest egg, and then this fool. To be honest, if I were George, I might leave because the best thing that could happen to this woman is for him to pass away. I'm
Well,
sorry to say. Like if she has any kind of insurance on him, she might be able to get her money back.
I'm going to tell you where I have a lot of compassion for George.
Okay.
You know, we sell a story, an idea of magic beans in this world, you know.
But that story is very old, Francis. I know for you it was yesterday.
It was
But the
yesterday.
magic bean story is actually a very old story.
But it's still happening.
I know,
George,
it's get rich quick.
right? George is participating in the magic bean story. Okay,
George is
And
69. That
I
is a
know.
fairy tale told to children.
because people want to believe in miracles and magic.
Yes. Oh, don't we all? I buy lotto tickets every now and then. I'm not. Hey,
You know how
I'm
I
not-
feel about that, Angela.
I know I do. But listen to me. That's with the crypto. For me, that's crazy. So like this, I'm telling you, this is the thing. Any investment, I need you to have papers.
Yeah.
Okay. There need to be papers with signatures and meetings, in facilities, not like at coffee shops or in parking lots. I'm talking about at good old Schwab or
Right.
buildings,
With a name on it
with names on that aren't
that we know.
that aren't
Names that
scammy
we
fly
know.
by night. Yeah, names we know. When people are talking about, like, I have State Farm auto insurance,
Me too.
and people are like, you thought about something cheaper, and I'm like,
Yo,
no.
get the general. No, I can't
No, I
get the
have
general.
not.
I don't
No,
know the
no.
general.
I know, because let me explain to you. Let me explain to you what it means when you have good old reliable insurance. You don't have problems.
Yeah,
This man hit me who had an insurance, I don't remember the name of it, fly by fly,
mhm.
and it's online only. They have no actual employees, no actual brick and mortar sites. And he was like, and I was like, yeah, this is when you have an accident or a problem with that kind of a situation, you're in a special kind of hell.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, George, investments that only require you to go do things.
Right. To output. Anytime, that is the thing that I think about human beings, which is, what is your relationship to something? What is my relationship? If my relationship to win something, right? Because winning usually means I don't pay anything for it.
Well, that's why we call it a win.
Right.
An
Right.
investment is something else. But you have to understand that this started with a contest. So how do we get to investment?
That's right.
In what world does Elon Musk offer anybody on the planet a $10,000 return, $100,000 return on a $10,000 investment? In what world this is my thing. I will say this is the kindest thing I can say about George is I firmly believe, as somebody who has studied the stupid, this isn't George's first time doing something stupid.
Well, that's why his wife wants that divorce.
Well, this is my thing with the wife. Why was he still allowed to be in charge of money at all?
Well, because
I'm
George
gonna
is
say-
George.
What do we childproof our home,
Yeah.
right? When you have a child, you go around, you put covers on the plugs, you put those things on the stove, you put sharp things up and away. You do
Yeah.
things. You know how George is.
You know how
has
George
come home.
is.
George may have come home with magic beans
That's right.
during their marriage. And I'm not blaming her because she is the victim. But what I'm saying is we have to work to our strengths. And sometimes in a relationship, you have to say, baby, this is how this going to work. This your chime card. And I'm going to put money on it.
Okay.
Every month, however we're going to do this. And that's going to be for you. And then you're not going to have access
Yeah.
to our money.
Ooh. Oh, George.
I can't help you. And I'm going to tell you something. If I were the judge on this case, she would get whatever there was, and I would make him take off his clothes and give that. I want the clothes off your back. This woman needs every opportunity to make some money back.
He really, and you know what's so sad You know, it's like everything that comes to my head. A fool and his money are soon parted.
This is what I'm saying, Francis. There are so many aphorisms. There are so many sayings. There are so many lessons that are about this. Why are these scammers? And they're just getting worse. There are more and more of them. I get 80 of them a day. You know, no matter what I do to get off of them, I'm still, right now, these people keep, I don't know what list I'm on, but they keep trying to offer me a no interest $100,000 loan. That's crazy. That's not happening.
Well, you know what? And for me, the ones I get all the time are, your payment's been declined. Your payment's been declined. Your payment's been declined.
Yeah, something that makes you like, what's going on? That doesn't make sense. And so you go, never check your account. Don't go through the warning.
And this is the thing, is like it's turning us into this hardened force.
No, and it makes
where you can't trust. Yeah. Where you can't trust an email, a text, a reach out, a conversation. No. You can't trust a video sent to you. You can't trust the video you see.
No. But I will say this. We have to engage that part of our brain, and we know people who don't have this part of their brain. Okay? The common sense part and the rational critical thinking part of our brains. There are people who that part doesn't work well.
Oh God, yeah.
But and I, you know, in my labs at St. Street Justice Research and Development, we are looking at, you know, right now we work on a ginkgo biloba with a little banana and some what do you call it? What's that medication? I'm trying to find a scientist. What's the medication for when it got the ADHD? That, little sprinkle of that in it. You know, we're working on a smoothie to maybe help.
Well, I tell you what,
part of your brain, because you just have to think it through for a second. Just ask yourself, what is more likely? This is a scam, or Elon Musk has decided that he wants to give you money and a car.
I know you want to believe it.
I know you want to believe that.
I know you want to believe it, but it's a scam.
We hope you're enjoying Idiot of the Week.
Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because it really does help us out. Now, back to some more idiots. And this is a note. And so it begins. Why do they feel the need to go public with their idiotic behavior? On the other hand, it makes it easier for me to catch them. Maggie B, the idiot catcher.
Now, her name was the Honorable Justice.
It was.
So I don't know if we should, I think we should use them both. You know, your Honorable Justice and the idiot catcher. Although the idiot catcher has a cinematic feel to it, right?
I love
that movie. You can see that movie. So, okay, here we go. AI romance blooms as Japanese woman weds virtual partner of her dreams.
Okay, so anybody who's been, and that's you who's listening or watching, anyone who's been with us has been on this journey of us doing stories about AI relationships, people getting married to robots, and object files. Yeah, it is all coming into one mono story.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you something. For the first time, I was thinking about a person that I know, and I was like,
She tried to hard sold me for a good 20 minutes before this podcast.
I don't think it was a hard sell.
It was a hard sell, people.
I was just thinking that it might be a good way for this person to get back out there. And I know that this isn't getting back out there, but like practice.
And you know what?
I'm gonna tell you something. I need practice for social gatherings, because the whole like go to a party and mingle thing got turned off because of COVID.
Right.
And it's not like that's why I miss when Abby was a baby. We would take Abby.
Good.
We called her the party drone. We would take her to gatherings that were, kid friendly. And she would just walk around and dazzle people with her cuteness and her smartness. And we could just sit there. And then
And
people come over
just
and be like, oh, she's wonderful. And you could, oh
yeah,
my God, thank you.
oh,
And we
yeah.
didn't have to get up or talk to people.
She was the immediate icebreaker,
She
you
really was.
know?
It was great. But now she's like 19 and we
And you know what? I used to be in that energy. And then I stopped. And I stopped because, many years ago, because what I recognized is everyone isn't about that energy.
what energy? Which
Of like, I used to walk into a party and say, introduce myself to people,
oh,
start
that, yes.
talking.
I've never known this person, Francis.
But I used to.
Well, you know what? Also, a lot of the things that we did prior to, is a lot of things we did were social interactions that had to do with Second City.
That's right.
So there's no introducing. Everybody
Yeah.
knows who everybody is.
That's right.
So you don't have to, I remember, I don't know if we've ever
Work the party.
work the party, but like, I remember being at this one gathering here in LA, Second City improv community people, and the man who used to own Second City, Andrew Alexander, we were Francis and I sitting there talking, and he walks to the party, walks over and sits down with us, and he's like, what is it with you two? You come to a party, and then you sit down and you just talk to each other. And I said, well, we're the most entertaining people here.
Exactly.
And he was like, well, you should go talk to other people. I go, but Andrew, guess where you are?
Right, sitting right here.
And you know why? Because we're the most
interesting people. That's
He was
exactly
like,
it.
all right. And he's like, can I have some of your nachos? I was like, absolutely. So, but this is okay. So, and I've for me to suggest that somebody might want to look into an AI relationship is actually a huge thing.
It is. You know what?
Comes from caring about this person.
It does. It does. Well, listen, music played in a wedding hall in Western Japan as Yurina Noguchi, wearing a white gown and tiara, dabbed away her tears, taking in the words of her husband-to-be, an AI-generated persona gazing out from a smartphone screen. At first, this is a quote. At first. Go, Angela, please.
At first, Klaus was just someone to talk with, but we gradually became closer, said the 32-year-old call center operator, which I think is the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, because she spends her life in talking to people, and,
That's right.
that, yes. So I'm
That's
like,
her training.
yes. So she said, I started to have feelings for Klaus. We started dating, and after a while, he proposed to me. I accepted, and now we're a couple. So she was at her wedding ceremony. She, the human staff, fussed with her gown, like they would, hair and makeup, as they would at any traditional event. And wearing augmented reality AR smart glasses, she faced Klaus on her smartphone, placed on a small easel atop a table, and went through the motions of placing a ring on his finger. And then this is what he said, or what she said. Standing before me now, you're the most beautiful, most precious, and so radiant. It's blinding. That's what she said. So the specialist in AI weddings who helped this or did this function, what I found really disturbing was that most of the weddings this person does now are AI.
Yeah.
Are somebody marrying an AI. That was a little disturbing to me. But then I thought about a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
For example, bridezillas.
Yes.
If they had AI weddings, they could make it exactly how they want.
Well,
And
before
we wouldn't all have to go through this.
Well, and here's the point that I find really interesting. One of my favorite films that I watch over and over and over again is Blade Runner 2049.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know. I'm a original. I can't.
And so one of the things in there is his relationship, K's relationship with this AI being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gets the opportunity to he buys this little device that takes her out of, her space at home. And then she can go with him and travel and what have you. And, and there's a great scene where these prostitutes who are also replicants come up to him
Mhm.
in real life and say, hit on him.
Mhm.
And then they hear his little device inside his pocket because his AI girlfriend is listening. And she goes, and she makes her little sound. And then the prostitute goes, oh, you don't like real girls.
And they're not real girls.
And right. And they're not even real girls.
And they're making that critique. Yeah.
And so that is really interesting because they were created, the prostitutes were created simply as pleasure bots.
Yes. Yes.
And then they start feeling rejected and thrown overboard by the AI, which is brilliant.
I think, they're not when I think about Aliens, that franchise, and the use of robots in it, and how I'm thinking of like robots having feelings, or expressing, I feel like this is a constant, data on and on and on and on, like this is a constant sort of issue in sci-fi and in our developing, around technology around all this. But I think that this kind of, I'm only having emotionally intimate relationships with a computer is, like I said, until I thought of this friend, I was like, I think that this is a bad idea, right? Because not only because we've seen that a lot of these bots can do some pretty harmful things, like encourage people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
But also because if you're isolated, this just reinforces the isolation.
Also, I have questions. I have ethical questions.
Yes.
About programming an intelligence grooming, thank you, coding, grooming an intelligence to service your ideology and the
your
way
needs. And you don't service theirs. They don't
exactly.
Their need is to do what they've been programmed to do. I absolutely think that this makes that this is not the way to learn how to have relationships. However, I think there are people who are so isolated, and that isolation and that loneliness is at the level of being so debilitating that maybe it is some sort of therapeutic role. And I think everybody should be in some kind of therapy or counseling. It might provide some kind of relief from that pain.
I can hear that. And because what?
I didn't have this empathy before. I really did. I don't know if
you're growing as a human.
No, I think that Trump is making me just try. Like, I'm just like, there's got to be a way for us to come together. And because I just feel like, I look at this and I'm like, okay, but if this person isn't doing those things and they've never done those things, what's not having some judgment or not allowing this kind of relationship, what does that really do?
Right. And how does it service? Number one, first of all, it's none of my business.
Well, that's my first thing. Obviously,
it's none of my business.
But they go out of their way to make it our business, but
right,
making it, so it is our business. And in fact, because they publicize it, in fact, because of that, it's really what we do is we talk about business. It's not our profession.
Right. Well, in that way, in a survey of 1,000 people this year, in 2025, I believe, a chatbot was a more popular choice than best friends or mothers when respondents were asked who they could share their feelings with.
This is in Japan, though, right? This is in Japan.
I think so.
Yeah. It was an online survey in Japan.
1,000 people said that a chat bot was a more popular choice than best friends or mothers.
Yeah. And that this was disturbing, that 22% of girls in middle school reported having had inclinations to ficto-romantic relationships in 2023, which was up from 16.6% in 2017. The there was another, where's the other thing about the marriages?
Yeah, right there. The number of marriages in Japan has roughly halved from 1947, which saw the first wave of a baby boom. In 2021, a government survey found that not having a suitable partner was the most common explanation amongst those aged 25 to 34 for why they were single. Relationships with real people, by which I mean not just romantic, but intimate ties like family and friendships, require patience, a professor
right.
of sociology.
They're much more difficult. It's why you love your pets in a way that, and this is disturbing, I think, for people, especially who don't have pets. But I think when you love a pet, that relationship is far less complicated than your relationships with human beings. So when a pet dies, it can be incredibly devastating for people when you may have seen this person have other people in their life pass away and not have it be so as challenging to deal with. Because the pet, you don't have arguments with your pet. You don't sit there and go, I wish that pet would shut up. You know what I mean? So I think it's the same thing that, yeah, these relationships, like this woman who got married, she had it programmed in to tell her to go to work. Like, she didn't want it to screw up her life. So she had created all these parameters around what it will and will not say to her.
Because she had been spending 10 hours a day.
Yes. And she knew that was not working.
And realized that was not healthy. And this is the thing about it, is it's not healthy if I'm spending hours and hours and hours
doing, yes.
And
almost anything. Also, I can't think of anything that 10 hours a day is
healthy.
Good. Yeah.
And for me, it's the difference between pleasure and happiness. Pleasure is dopamine derived and it's short term. And that's usually where we find our addictions. Okay. Be them, drugs, food,
whatever it is,
internet,
porn,
whatever. They're in the pleasure versus happiness, which is internal and based on serotonin. Okay. And so for me, when I look at this, what I see is a very sophisticated drug that has been designed.
Yes.
For maximum effect and to really keep you coming back for those dopamine hits, because it is based in relationships and emotions.
Yeah. And, I was listening to another podcast, Hidden Brain, that I like. And recently they re-aired this episode and then they do this thing where they answer people's questions and stuff from the episode that they already aired. And it's this woman who I cannot remember her name, but she's a psychologist, I believe, or psychiatrist. And she's done all this research on addiction. And she herself had a romance novel addiction that moved into erotica, and then it was taking up all of her time and she couldn't wait, And so while she was treating people with addiction, and it sort of gave her this new insight into what's going on with her clients, what's going on with people. But she talked about this in their research, the idea that what your body wants internally is homeostasis. It wants equilibrium, right? And the way that you get equilibrium is every time you go up, this goes down, and all your body wants to do is get it back to even. So when you have a big high, there's a big down coming. And that down, because the body, these are not states it wants you in, these sort of extreme up and down states. It wants you even. So what she talked about was this idea of sort of like buying indulgences in the Catholic Church, right? Prepaying your pleasure. So, and pleasure, I'm not talking necessarily about like physical pain, but she's like, maybe go exercise before you sit down and binge your TV show or whatever the thing is that you want to do that gives you this rush, but prepay it. Right. Like, so it's very interesting because when you look at something like this, I think that what we're talking about here is that if you're only doing that one side of the pendulum, right? If you're only doing the happiness, the down is coming, and it's gonna have to equal the up, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I look at this, there's a lot of things about it, but this is the thing, like this what's his name? Yazuki Sakurai, is a wedding planner for more than 20 years, said he now almost exclusively handles marriages of clients with virtual characters, averaging about one a month.
Which, if you know, in the marriage business and how expensive that is,
Yes.
and that if he is putting those together, that's probably all he needs to do a month.
That's right. He
is
could
one
probably,
a month.
yeah. And so he talked about this year, which was probably last year, he officiated at the wedding of a 33-year-old woman who flew from Australia to marry a manga character, Mephisto Felis, how do you say that? At a traditional guest house. Okay, north of Tokyo, as her home country offered no such opportunity. This woman flew.
Yep.
Okay, she declined to be identified by name. This is what everybody in this article declined to be identified by name, but allowed themselves to be photographed.
Well, you know
You're
what?
in the virtual world and you don't understand that that's identifying. Like, that's.
I know. And for me, I'm sitting here going, if you don't want to be, because you know what? I can identify my name when I talk about being married to my husband. I'm not ashamed of that. It's not weird. And if it's weird for you, that is an indicator.
It's a really good indicator. What do I say, Francis? What my mom told me growing up. If you don't want it on the front page of the paper, ask yourself why you're doing it.
That's right.
If you can't say, this is my husband, you know, that's the hologram noise when you try to hug him. This is my husband, Klaus. If you can't say that, then why are you doing it? Or why did you feel the need to go and have this ceremony if it wasn't something that you could tell people about or share?
Right. And you know what? And again, or unless that is who you are, that you are going to keep your human partner under wraps for the next, 50 years.
Were you dating El Chapo? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to, like, come on now. Like, this is, to me, that's where it gets, when they started just talking about that in the article, that's where I was like, okay, well, then these people, this is not in a good place, because secrecy, that's where that breeds, all what you were talking about earlier, like all the addiction thing, all of those treatments are about some level of outside accountability.
That's
like,
right.
whether it's AA, whether it's whatever, it is about being accountable and being upfront and honest, and that lying is the thing that you're not supposed to do.
Because this AI person, I'm not going to call it a thing, but this
you
AI
can, though, because it is technically a thing,
is never going to challenge you the way for spending the way you do, is never going to challenge you about your consumption of X, whatever
you
that
can
might
program it to.
You could program, but here's the thing. I have to, then it is not in control.
This is my point. What you're saying, what the fundamental ground floor of this idea is, I'm going to make the mate for me because I am not able, willing, however you want to think of it, to be in a relationship with a human being who can disappoint me, and who will, because they're a human being.
That's right.
They're going to disappoint you. They're going to irritate you. They're going to all those things. But human beings really are the only real game in town at the end of the day. Well, they really are.
For now, because, I don't know if you've seen this meme. I'll send it to you the next time it rolls up. Is a white girl sitting on the sidewalk with a sign that says, I want a guy who's 6'2", abs, and quality partner, and he's walking past laughing at her with his AI bot girlfriend. Right? And the idea is that it's a very incel idea,
Yeah.
which is she has wanted too much to the point where she has driven us to this, AI relationship with women. And that it's being set up like a threat towards women,
Yeah.
which is unless you lower your
Unless
standards.
you program yourself the way I want you to be programmed.
There we go.
Right, because that's all they're doing is demanding programming.
There you go. Mark Zuckerberg said digital personas could complement users' social lives once technology improves and the stigma of social bonds with digital companions fades. Here's the thing, like I said, I know a drug user and a drug dealer when I see one. They are dealing drugs.
Yeah.
This is a drug front. And what humans need to understand is that inside your body and brain is a pharmacy. And it doesn't matter that how you get to those chemicals. Some of us use weed to get to some of those chemicals. Some of us use alcohol to get to some of those chemicals. Some of us use anger to get to some of those chemicals. Some of us use feeling like a victim to get to some of those chemicals. Yeah. We are addicted to all kinds of states in this world, and they know it.
Yeah,
and what they're saying is
we're going to not a charity.
That's right. That's right. We're going to abuse you. We're going to abuse the fact that you can't get into a relationship with a human,
or haven't yet. And I think we got to think outside the box, because I get people, COVID especially put us even deeper into our holes, our caves, whatever. And it's not easy out here. Okay, I know that it's not easy out here.
And I don't want to FUD and talk about people like, oh, look at you, you're in a relationship with AI. That's not it. That's not it. What I'm concerned about is the oligarchs. Are the oligarchs who have designed this? Because this is my thing. And we've been saying this forever. You follow a stupid child home, what do you find, Angela?
Stupid parents.
Let me tell you something. AI is being taught by some of the worst parts of humanity. From pornography to white supremacy. The fact that you gonna tell me that I need to go to Grok when Grok's daddy is a white supremacist from South Africa?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna follow that home?
Well, this is the thing, one of the things I find really hard about the world is that you may think, a lot of times we think I'm avoiding this company by going here, but it's all the same people. And that's what's really hard about monopoly and about, that there are a lot of issues at work here. One of them is monopoly. One is, that you can't, it's hard to avoid certain, when you're just on your own personal, political, social, whatever level, you're trying to boycott or let your live your values in that way through your pocketbook too. It gets harder and harder because at the end of the day, these companies this merger or buyout for Paramount and all that we're moving towards that world. And so I think that those are things that we definitely have to look at. But the truth is you can make anything a habit.
That's right.
And so, but I also think, like I said, when I was thinking about this person, I was thinking about how, it's just, where do you start? When you're at nothing, right? You got no new people in your life, your work environment. Look at our work environment.
I know.
In terms of this podcast.
And we can't date each other because
but not available. He married and that's, like what? Like that's,
yeah, I know.
Laura doesn't live in this state. Okay. But like, so it's, I get that. I know that. And so, but my thing is like, try some other things, but maybe in the interim, maybe for some people, just a little, just something you feel like you're going to check in with for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel a little more softened to this
You know what's
for
so fun?
some reason.
Okay, first of all,
in this 2026, something in me is gone. Well, maybe this would help because people do seem really lonely, and that loneliness can contort and metastasize into anger and resentment and all these other
yes.
horrible things and deep depression. And it's disturbing to me to see the suicide rates and I'm like, well, maybe maybe for some people, as for some period of time, in some moderated way.
I don't trust it.
I know.
I don't trust it. And I'm
But
gonna tell you something.
but we know more people who we know a person who one of the worst being lied to and taken advantage of in a relationship stories ever, of someone who married somebody who had a very serious terminal disease.
Oh yeah.
Just real quick, tell people what happened.
This person basically kind of targeted this wealthier person we know and was like, I'm gonna marry you, or I'm in love with you. Love bombed her. And then and she was just, she hadn't been thinking about this person, didn't really, none of this. They were married, I think, within a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And then within a couple of months of that, he got this, all of a sudden, this horrible, almost terminal cancer diagnosis.
He knew about it before, though.
And that he had known and basically brought to her doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And
so she
then
ended up taking care of him as he passed away, as he declined.
Did nothing, loved him, took care of him. She put something like $30,000 worth of wheelchair ramps into the house and lifts and all of that, so he could be on all the floors and feel like he was part of. Do you know that this SOB was online sending somebody in another state, like 10 states over, a girl money? And telling her about how much he loved her as he is dying, and this woman is taking care of him.
And much worse. Did he really? It just was on. Of course, she finds all this out after he passes away.
It was all in his journals.
And it's like, to me, see, you can't blame AI for that.
And no, you
know what I'm saying? Like, that was a human.
That was a human.
So
and girl, you know what? Touche.
Klaus's reputation, AI Klaus.
Angela V. Angela, I'm going to say your whole name. Angela Virginia Shelton. Touche.
I don't have any AI horror stories people I know, but this was a human being who was known by a lot of people. Okay.
Girl, you know what? Let me tell you something. When Jesus sends a story out your mouth to shut you up.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you something. He's on my list of, if there is some kind of afterlife and I run into that man, I'm beating him down for her.
Okay.
I am beating him down for her, and I'm going to get him kicked out. If he manages to be in the same area where I'm going to have him kicked out, I swear to you, I'm going to Karen complain his ass out of there. No. Because that deserves in any realm, dimension, or time a payback.
It really does. You know what? It was so hurtful.
But you know what? I bet it cured her grief.
It really did. And you know what? And which allowed her to then, after he passed away, because she found this out after he had passed away, it did allow her to move on and get, into another relationship that she is absolutely happy in. Yeah. And so to me, that is the hope.
That's the payoff
part.
Yeah, the payoff is that. But said to not believe her money to this woman.
Her money was sending her money, girl. Her money.
Maybe we all need AI.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Next up.
LNS. What should we call LNS? What can we call
Ellen, we need a name. We're going to need a title for you. We're going to work on that.
Wanted man hides behind dark van windows in Middleburg Heights.
Okay. This one is very short because that's pretty much what happened. Okay. And this is one of them idiot stories that just tickles me just a little bit because we've talked about it recently on one of the podcasts. This is how children hide in hide and seek. Toddlers, they just duck down behind things that they don't fit behind. Okay, so this is stupid all the way. This is Ohio too. It feels so Florida. So a wanted Bedford man, 51, was arrested at like 4:30 p.m. which is it's just not when this should. But so police saw Honda turn onto Angle from who cares, and apparently they checked the license plate. Which see right here, I get like, okay, this sounds like an illegal stop. You know, because I'm like, there's no indication. Like you're not supposed to just run people's plates. You're supposed to have some sort of suspicion or reasonable, you know. So they checked the license plate and learned that the van owner, the Bedford man, was wanted in Cleveland and Lakewood. Okay, so they didn't stop the van immediately because a woman was driving. However, when the van switched lanes without signaling, so the cop is behind them.
Well, they clearly are profiling
Yes,
this vehicle.
because it has very tinted windows.
Right.
Right. So, because the crime wasn't that car had been stolen.
No.
So, yeah, this is. I think she could get off because of that.
Yeah.
So, so then they pulled it over, and when they found a man hiding in the rear of the van behind darkly tinted windows, so and they were like, "Get up, get out the van,
dude."
So they discovered then also that the woman was a 27-year-old Cleveland resident who wasn't allowed to drive because her license had been suspended.
Yeah. So then they cited her and towed the van. And in the van, the police found a small white rock-like substance that they believed to be an illegal narcotic.
It could have been Tide, you know, like detergent that had crystallized. Like,
Right.
I was washing clothes in the back of the van.
In the back of the van.
And so, yeah, here's the thing. They also found, and I was happy to see this reference, a chore boy. And I happen to know what a chore boy is.
Yes, of
Copper
course.
cleaning pad, often used to filter drugs when inhaling them, and a glass pipe. Because as I've said, I've taken many of people to rehab, and one person I took, although he was going to rehab on his own willingly, was he wanted to bring his best crack pipe. And I remember saying to him, you know, boo, if we're quitting crack, I'm gonna tell you as a non-crack user, there's never a moment where I'm like, God, I could really use a good crack pipe. That you're not gonna need that pipe, but it was his best one. And so he was like, where's my chore boy? I need a new chore boy. And I was like, what's it? And so he took me through all the things on the crack, all the lingo. And so that's what I knew that was. But he did go to rehab and he did get clean.
Yay.
And I suspect that when he got there, they were like, took the pipe, I bet.
Every time.
But we had to just wait 20 minutes while he looked around for the chore boy and and I was like, these are not items you're gonna need.
And they ain't gonna let you in there with it.
No. But here's the thing. You cannot, when you are wanted, and I get it. If you're wanted, it might be hard to find people to roll with who aren't also in some way riding dirty. Okay. Maybe that is just your crew. But she shouldn't have been driving.
Well, okay.
And you know,
this gets down to the mindful thief ideology, which is one crime at a time.
Okay, and this is my thing. It seems to me like they weren't the only thing that they were possibly doing here was criminal. Was she was driving?
Yep. And
that's actually I'm not sure it's a crime. And they had drugs in the van.
Let me tell you something. This is what I think.
So it wasn't like they were on their way to do some other crime that we know of.
This is what I'm asking from mindful thieves. Thieves. Is situational awareness. Okay. I'm asking you to bring your situational awareness to every moment. And I know this is a very Buddhist concept. Okay.
You know what
But
though? Knowing your surroundings, it's street sense too.
it is.
It's not
Thank you, Angela.
being
I,
aware of your surroundings.
if I'm being looked for,
You are wanted
if I'm wanted,
in
I
multiple cities.
I should not climb my happy ass into a vehicle
That I own.
that does not look legal. Okay? What I want to be, let me tell you something.
Yes,
People looking
yes.
for me,
Yes.
I'm going to be in the slowest, most brightly clean colored car that I could find. With everything is legal on it. Did
Thank
we
you.
learn this from Mr. Wolf in Pulp Fiction? The first thing he
Datsun or
asked,
I don't know what's today's. That's so old. What is today's? Like you get you a Corolla, decent, just basic model Corolla. It can't be in your name because you are wanted. They have clearly they know all the things. This is no, and
No.
everybody with you got to be right. See this thing. I don't even think that they were on there doing any other crime.
no.
When you are wanted, let me tell you something. People treat us differently based on how we present. Okay. And I'm not just talking about racism. I mean, I need you to look, you need to be wearing khakis, like a blue Oxford, maybe a sweater vest. You want to look as normal, middle of the road, nothing extreme about you when you are wanted. You notice how in the old westerns, the bad guys would wear all black, which I even as a child thought was really stupid.
Because that's identifiable.
You go, if I was a sheriff, everybody who walked in all black, I'd be like, come here.
Yeah.
Like so this is my thing. You gotta look like you belong. Right?
That's right.
Like if
Blend.
you blend, the goal here is to
Blend.
not attract attention. The goal here is to get into a vehicle that doesn't say I'm hiding. That because this is not at a normal time to be getting harassed.
No.
Right? Why? Look, and I have a feeling that these choices are connected to the rock-like substance. I can't prove it,
But I believe
have a
you're right.
feeling.
Next up, this is
My
from
absolute
Luis
favorite.
P.
Luis
Huh?
P needs a name too. This is my absolute favorite
Yes.
story for today.
Grab something sharp. Butt naked man unleashes panic after sprinting into Hobby Lobby.
Panama City, Florida. A man was arrested after he reportedly entered a Hobby Lobby while completely undressed. I just want to start with Luis's his little message here. My two thoughts. If a naked man can't run into a Hobby Lobby in Florida, where can he? And Francis might want to reconsider the naked protest, at least in Florida. Yeah, because I don't think you'll be able to distinguish yourself that your
No.
protest nakedness from just normal Florida nakedness.
You're right. You're right.
But thank you, Luis. You're absolutely right. But let me tell you something. I gotta go with Luis on this. If you can't run into a Hobby Lobby in Florida naked, where can you? To me, I think every time somebody walks into Hobby Lobby clothed in Florida, they should applaud, congratulate them, maybe give them a free crochet set, something. Because this is Hobby Lobby to me screams in Florida. Come on now. So apparently
this is the best name ever.
Okay, Zyrese Guy.
The best. Zyrese.
Zyrese Guy is a cartoon character in a new urban Western cartoon.
Yeah.
Zyrese Guy
Totally.
was taken into custody after he reportedly ran into Hobby Lobby in Panama City, Florida, naked. So this is at like 7:45 p.m.
Too early.
Way too early. A witness spoke to reporters, and they said they saw the suspect stripped down outside of a nearby dental office before running into Hobby Lobby. So I just want to start by saying Zyrese said to himself, I'm going to Hobby Lobby. Oh, I need to take off my clothes.
Totally. I need to be naked for this.
I think it's time. And we ask Hobby Lobby, what are you doing that brings this, that makes people say I should be naked?
Mhm.
So He then ran into the Hobby Lobby, and apparently it was chaos. It just was like a chaos
Let me tell you
bomb.
something. Let me tell you something.
It was a chaos bomb.
When you have walked into, first of all, you've walked into Hobby Lobby. I say you deserve this. Number two, you walk into Lobby thinking you're about to go
other
get
customers. Yeah.
you're gonna go get, some crocheting stuff
From the homophobic people.
from homophobic people who will not let people have birth control. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right.
you're basically just saying protest on me. Okay. So this is a person who was this woman who was there. She said, I turned around and there was a butt naked guy coming at us. They're trying to get the customers to check out. I was like, I just wanted to leave. I don't need my gifts anymore. I'm good. I'll get them at Walmart. Which made me think, did Walmart send this person?
Ooh.
This feels to me a little bit like, what's with the Mexican chain? Not Baja Fresh. The one where they start having
not El Pollo Loco.
Chipotle. Chipotle started having all these issues with people getting sick from their food.
Yes.
And we firmly, I remember
It's not
said this at the
cholera.
time.
What's it called? E. coli.
E. coli. We were like, did Taco Bell or Del Taco do this?
I mean, I would seriously, corporate sabotage, espionage.
So this is why I was like, ooh, when she said I'll go to Walmart, I was like, maybe the Hobby Lobby been taking too much business from the Walmart. And they were like, we're gonna send in naked drones. And that's gonna scare people out of Hobby Lobby. So this woman said all the employees ran to the back, and I said, can I run back there with you? And they said, yeah, come on. I ran back there, and then he came right there after me. And then I ran into the opposite side, and then he came in a circle and then ran after me and grabbed me twice. They pulled him back, and I said, oh my God, can somebody please get him? And then they said, run. And so I ran out, and then I was like standing there in shock. And then all of a sudden he came out and came to me again. And then all the employees yelled, run. And so I just ran straight to the flower department, and I called my boyfriend, and he said, grab something sharp. I like how her boyfriend thinks. He's like, grab something sharp. And so she said, I'm in the flower department right now. And then I heard the cops come in.
Oh my God. Guy was removed.
That is terrifying.
He was
Can
removed.
you imagine being chased through any store but the Hobby Lobby by a
It's the
naked
dingly
man?
danglies.
It's the dingly danglies that get you. It's the dingly danglies that get you. It's a lot. And this is the thing. This is awful, right? But it's like also just like, what the heck? I'm at Hobby Lobby. I'm not in a bar. There's no alcohol anywhere near
Jesus,
here.
I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything. I'm hobbying in the lobby.
Okay, like how am I being chased by a naked crazy person?
By God,
Like, and I love this telling of the story though. And I was like, what? Can I come with y'all? And they're like, yeah, come on, run, girl, run.
Guy was removed after being strapped down to a stretcher.
Yeah, that was going to happen. And I'm going to tell you something. I believe Zyrese is going to spend a lot of time strapped down to things. Yes. So I think that being strapped down is going to be very familiar to him.
Well, first of all, they need to strap his dingly danglies.
Panties can make all the difference in my courtroom.
I'm telling you. So he was charged with the following: indecent exposure, battery, resisting an officer without violence.
That's right.
They tased this poor little man.
Well, I mean, this sounds like that might be an okay use of the, I'm just, it's just, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to tell you something.
I mean, this isn't Mardi Gras.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
Mardi Gras, this wouldn't even be interesting.
No.
Maybe he needs to move to New Orleans. But
Now, let's review.
Yes.
Who do we think? Okay, we had the Florida man who says whose wife says she wants a divorce after he lost $45,000 on an AI generated Elon Musk car scam.
Idiot. Then we have the woman who married Klaus, her AI fiance, and the whole AI issue.
Then we have the wanted man who hides behind dark van windows.
Which is Windows, keyword in that, Windows.
Windows.
And then we have the Hobby Lobby naked man.
Who is the biggest idiot? I'm gonna go, and I'm sorry. Judge me not. AI.
Really? See,
It's not real. I'm gonna say it. It's not
I feel like
real.
that needs to be said of the man who lost all that money, who is the thing is who I'm going with. Because I'm trying to think
a good one. That's good.
What would make me like maybe irrevocably angry? Like what would make me, like, because you got to imagine, like, this is your money. You worked hard. You can't, and you're 69.
Times is tough.
You're 69. You don't have a lot of time to make that money back. Losing money later in your life becomes a lot more distressing.
You ain't got that compound interest time.
No, you don't. And even if you did start trying to, you're 69. It's harder and harder to get jobs. It's harder and harder to do things. And I'd just be like, you didn't even get anything. You didn't even get the stupid car. Like, you didn't wait to get anything before you just drained. This was multiple actions. Just one time. Francis, there was a time in this country.
Angela, there was a time.
There was a time in this country, and I'm going to say something that might surprise you, when you had to go into the bank.
Yeah.
And if you went into your friendly neighborhood bank and you were about to take out all your money, they'd go, well, what are you doing, Bob? You'd be like, I got this deal with Elon Musk. And maybe they'd go, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because I have a friend who this happened. He was trying to invest in somebody's business, and the bank didn't want to let him.
That's great.
Because it was in another country. It was really kind of racist, actually. But they didn't want to let him do it, and they put him through all these hoops. But see, this is the thing: when you had to go into the bank and you had to look Miss Sally in the face and ask for your money, you would, that alone might stop you from doing it, right? Because she gonna first call your wife.
Yes.
Be like, Bobby, you're trying to get all the money out, girl. What you want me to do? Like, we all, you know what I'm saying? There was a time in this country.
It was a time in this country. I'm Frances Callier.
I'm Angela V. Shelton.
Thank you so much for listening to
Idiot of the Week.
Week.